Welcome back to the Real Hoop Hours podcast. Today we got a great show. We're starting off with Good Morning NBA. We're going to be looking at the standings in the East and in the West and see what's up there. And then we got our Real Hoop Hours segment where we'll be talking about three-point shooting in the NBA and is this the highest we're going to see three-point attempts? After that, we got our therapy session. We got a smoked lay from Haim and an offensive foul on my own part. We got Team of the Week, and then we're ending the show with our starting five draft of Pokemon. Let's ride.
Welcome to Real Hoop Hours, episode 3 with Slim Dookie and Haim. Nick, how you doing today, sir?
Living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
There we go. Thank you for anybody that's listening on YouTube or Spotify. We also are now on Apple Podcasts. Nick, are you ready for today's show?
Yeah, no, I'm ready. I've been locked in on high school basketball. Not gonna lie, of course, still paying attention to the NBA, but I'm an assistant coach, so got to be locked in. I did have to duck out of film early today to get home to record, but it's work comes first.
Yeah, there you go. Teaching that solid standard basketball. That's good to go, man.
Hey, man.
All right.
We got like 8 different presses, and they did not look good last Saturday evening. So got to work on the 2-3. We run a lot of Princeton offense, and man, we got to fill our spots quicker. Not enough backdoor cuts. We're not catching and facing. We're we're holding the ball over our head on our heels, letting guys crawl into us. Like, no, we got to be strong with the ball, aggressive, turn and face, feed the post.
There you go. Sounds like a state champion high school coach already.
Hey, he's one of few. He's one of few, bro.
Yeah,
our head coach, not me, of course. I've been to a Final Four as an assistant, but not a state. Hey, we got cooked by Caleb Holt, future lottery pick. Give it 2 more years. Okay. He's cold. Caleb Holt is a dog.
Well, you can't. There is no shame in that. Also, want to make sure.
Yeah, we almost won.
Cooked by a lottery pick.
Yeah,
say?
Yeah, we should have won.
Game,
really.
Say we should have kicked his ass. But yeah, I do want to get us into our Good Morning NBA. Which today what we're going to cover is the NBA standings. Because for some reason everything looks a little weird at the moment, and and I will start us off with talking about the Cavs being 11-0.
Starting in the East?
Yes, sir. And I'm kind of confused how the Cavs are 11-0, but I'm not at the same time because one, they're a really good team, but then two, Isaac Okoro, that you would never think that would be the dude.
He's just so average, man.
He's just so ridiculously average. He's like strangely average. And it's like, how is that your small forward on an 11-0 top flight NBA team? like, I don't know if you've seen the stats, Nick, but the Cavs are playing amazing basketball right now.
What is he putting up right now? What do Isaac Okoro's numbers look like?
Oh God, I don't even want to look that up.
I'm gonna look, but like I also want to ask the question: how long before someone posts the picture of like the Jeff Teague Hawks that were like one of the best, like a 70-win regular season team, and just says 2024, 25 Cavs, because that happens every year.
Dog, they're already doing it on Twitter, bro. They're already doing it.
Really?
They're throwing out the allegations already. I mean, this is a historic start, right? Like it's not normal to
11-0 is nuts, man.
Point. And I was like, dang, like I'm gonna check Twitter to see how like the NBA community feels about him right now. And all I saw was like Kyle Korver, Jeff T, Al Horford, and Paul Millsap.
That was a squad, bro. I don't care what anyone says. That was a squad.
Look, Korver was way more important on that lineup than people understand. I know he was the worst, but he was important.
Korver? You said, what was he the worst at?
Well, player. Just the worst player. Because at the time, Paul was killing.
Shooting just like it forgives all other deficiencies at the end of the day. Anytime past like 2000, it's like, yeah, if a guy can shoot, we're just going to give him minutes. And Kyle was the most shooter like ever. It's like all he did.
There you go.
But also, man,
him and JJ
being a shooter and then being able to like the way he moved off ball and could like shoot on the move, him and JJ are like catch and shoot motion movement shooters, like the Hall of Fame type guys. I will say I prefer Kyle Korver's jumper over JJ's also, because Kyle kind of puts the ball in front of his face, versus JJ kind of holds it up top. It was over his head, a little bit.
Yeah. And I never liked that, but I love Kyle Korver's jumper where it's just like it just flies out of his hands forward. Yeah, and it's different from Ray Allen's. I can be.
It's hard to hard to contest it when you're trailing him, because that's how you have to guard those kind of guys. You chase him off the line, but if he's holding off the head and he jumps, and like you can't block that. But dude, Cavs are 11-0. Isaac Okoro, by the way, is averaging 6 points a game. I think 2.5 rebounds and an assist and a half. He does what they need. He does what they need him to do.
Literally what they need.
He's a good defender. I don't know how that's the thing. You can't really quantify the only way you quantify defense is you look at how many points the other team scored when he didn't play. And you have to wait till the end of the season to do that.
But the thing is, right, I've watched 3 Cavs games, and I'm waiting for Isaiah Okoro to look like that good defensively, and he was just all right. I was like, damn, okay. I was sold he was a great defender, and I'm just like, okay, he's doing all right. Like he's never getting cooked. That's what I love about it. He's never getting cooked.
In the NBA, that's all you can ask. Get a hand up. Stay in front. Best you can. There's so much space. It's so tough to guard.
I saw a lot of bad fouls. So I was like, okay. I was like, all right, well, I'm hoping the best for him. But the Cavs, I just want to make sure I give my shout out to Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, for always looking nice as hell and nobody believing in them. I will sit here and say I believe in y'all. Just please get another small forward. That's all I'm trying to say. All right, Cleveland.
So we got to look at the Celtics though, because the Celtics are 9-2. I think everyone expected that, but once you get below the Celtics, it gets ugly, because you got the Cavs at 11-0, the Celtics at 9-2, and then the Pacers are in third in the East at 5-5. Then you got the Magic at 5-6, the Knicks at 4-5, the Heat at 4-5, the Nets at 4-6, Hornets at 4-6, Bulls at 4, and gets worse from there. And at the bottom, just the strangest, bottom 2 teams, and not counting the Raptors. The Raptors are in 15th. No Scotty Barnes, and I don't know who else they're missing. I'm sure.
Yeah. Grady, I'm not saying his last name is shooting a ton of shots. That's how you know how this team is.
Dick?
A second-year player. Yes, Peen. Grady Peen is shooting a shit ton of shots. That's how you know it's like, oh, wow, a second-year player is taking all the shots. They're not supposed to be that good.
Depoy alert. I'm not saying. Not Depoy. Most improved alert. Grady Dick.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not saying bro name ever. I vowed that I hope he's not an MVP caliber player that I have to say his name.
I need to see the rest of the jersey swaps, dude. Why did we stop at Anthony Black, Grady Dick jersey swap? Why didn't we do Kobe White?
We can really get creative with this.
There's other ones. There's other ones. Does Harden work? I've seen some other ones.
Yeah, Harden works. I mean,
is there anyone
That sounds
Nasir
like
Little?
Like
is Nasir Little still in the league?
Hell no. Good try though. I was gonna say, freaking, what is it? I was gonna go. Was it Green? Just go Draymond Green. It was
or Jalen.
Just called. Yeah, there we go. The Shrek edition. That should work. But I will say about the standings though. To get us back on the standings.
But we got to talk about these 2 teams toward the bottom in the East before we move on to the West.
The Sixers and the Bucks being the 2 worst teams in the NBA, not including the 2 worst teams in the East, not including the Raptors, is kind of hilarious. And the worst part about it is that the Bucks have no real injuries.
Yeah, they're just not good. They're not
They're
deep.
just not
They have
good.
no depth. They have no depth at
Yeah.
all. If you look at their box
None.
scores, dude, it's like the starters put up 90 points, like maybe even 100. And then the rest, like the bench puts up 7 to 10. Like that cannot be happening. They only play like
I
8
saw
guys
one,
too.
Yeah, that's all they can do, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I saw one where Giannis and Dame both scored over 35, and then they lost by double digits. And I was like, wow.
I mean,
That's-
yeah, they
that's
get no
rough.
bench production, bro.
Which, I mean, hopefully they address that at some point. But to be 2-8 to start the season off, that's rough. Sixers at least injured.
Yeah.
Now, no Joel, no Paul. And I'm pretty sure Tyrese is out for a little bit, too. He's out for a while, isn't he? Pretty sure
Tyrese
he did get,
Maxey? Has he not been
yeah,
playing?
he's got hurt recently. I'm just not sure how long he's out. Let me check that real
Oh.
quick.
I'm
'cause
just
he's
right now
gonna
I'm
be
looking
out
at
for a bit.
I'm looking at like the Bucks team stats, like
Mhm.
just their, what they average, what other guys average. Giannis is scoring 31.6 on
Mhm.
on 21 shots a game, which to score 31 on 21 shots,
Mhm.
that's pretty good. I mean,
Pretty honest stat line right there. I mean, he's
yeah,
And-
Dame is putting up an inefficient 26 a game on 35 from 3 and 44% from the field. And then after that, it
Okay.
gets ugly because you got Bobby Portis giving you 12 and a half a game, also shooting 45% from the field.
he can give you some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can give you more than 12.
And then Brooke Lopez,
Right.
9, Torian Prince, 7, Gary Trent Jr., 7. And then it's real. And then I guess
Torian Prince
AJ
is on the Bucks.
white boy. Yeah.
Did Darvin Ham just snatch him up? Wait, why
guess so.
does he keep ending up with Darvin Ham? What is going on here?
That's tough, bro. How do you keep ending up? How does imagine you're Torian Prince? You're like, okay, I'm going to the Bucks. Like, I guess you go from Darvin Ham to Doc Rivers, and now you're like, oh shoot, like now I got both of them.
Yeah, so here comes
I don't think
Darvin
Doc
again.
Rivers is a good coach. For the record, I don't think Doc Rivers is. I think he's been
I will
phased out
say-
of basketball.
I don't think anybody that watches today's basketball thinks he's even halfway decent. Like I will admit he had a Hall of Fame case like 8 years ago. All Gen Z is gonna wipe that shit to the ground.
Yeah,
So I'll tell you right now.
it was a meme for a while, but like it is true. It's one of the few like memes that's not overblown. Like he is bad. He's pretty bad.
Really bad. Yeah. Like,
I mean,
really
I think
bad.
that was the awful coaching dude who we're not going to give a ton of shine or really any on this podcast. But
we shouldn't,
like
but
we shouldn't. But I think that was his first like big video was like Doc Rivers is terrible.
I will say everybody was on. Everybody was pretty online about that at the time.
Yeah, people
And
were
just to
jumping
check,
on it for sure.
And did check up on say about Tyrese Maxey. He's gonna be out for like 3 weeks.
Okay. Well,
So
do the
a
Sixers
team
just
that has
tank?
everybody injured.
Do you just tank for a year? Let Joel Embiid get really healthy. Let Paul George get really
Yeah.
healthy.
Run it back again next year. I don't know. if
Get
there's
a,
next
get
year
a,
with Joel
get
Embiid,
a high
honestly.
draft pick. Get in the Cooper flag race. All right, we got to jump ahead to the West.
Yeah, there we go.
And the Warriors back on top. I mean,
I don't
is
like
this
seeing that.
if the Warriors like? And I'm thinking way ahead here, but
Mhm.
if the Warriors mess around and win a championship, bro, is that still like? It's Steph's still there. Steph and
Nick,
Draymond are still there. Is this the best dynasty of all time? I mean,
Nick,
I'm not
I'm
a
gonna say
big
this.
let's talk about what this
yeah.
means in the grand scheme of dynasties, but like,
Yeah,
shoot,
yeah.
I mean,
Nick,
it
I'm gonna
just
say this
might
right
be.
now, and I'm trying to be a good person, and it's not working. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of it, bro. As much as I try to be an objective basketball watcher, right? That's the one part I will never tell anybody that I'm objective. I don't want the Warriors to win anymore. I'm just kind of done. I feel like Steph has done he got his rounds, and now Buddy Hield's like for some reason now gone back to being a really good player for them.
Yeah,
So now I'm like,
Let
oh
it
wow,
fly,
so now
buddy.
they have a team again. Yeah, they just replaced Clay with another Clay, but can move faster off the ball.
Yeah, but Buddy
Um,
does not play a lick of
yeah.
defense, I will say. Clay, I
Oh
mean,
no.
Clay's not the two-way player he used to be anymore, but like,
hmm
yeah,
He's still
Buddy
decent.
can't guard at all, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
he's still when he locks in, he's still good.
Yeah,
I've
he's solid.
Clay
He's
will
okay.
still do that. But you would think they would lost more with losing Klay Thompson. They just got another dude that could shoot that living hell of the ball. So I mean,
Yeah.
good for them. I'm happy to see the Suns and the Thunder right behind them though.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
nice
still
to see.
early. It's still that weird little shuffle. I mean, the Mavs were, I'm a Mavs fan, as people know, but the Mavs were in fifth like 2 days ago or 3 days ago, but back-to-back drops, like very close games against the Suns and the Nuggets that you just lose because Jason Kidd turns into Adonis Graham whenever it's time to call plays in the fourth quarter. I saw that meme. I had to put on my story as like Drake's son being like, we got to shoot and dribble. We got run fast. And I was like, it's like Jason Kidd drawing up offense in the fourth. I'm like, yeah, that's actually looks about right.
Jason Kidd's the smartest nothing's happening coach.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The smartest, like, what
who scored recently? Who scored recently? Like, let's give them the ball again.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
he's like a dad.
Yeah,
he's like a church league dad. There's like, well, he played in high school. Let's get him. Like, yeah, throw it to Johnny. See what he can do.
Just like the funny thing about Jason Kidd, as I always said, is that like he'll have moments where he's intelligent as hell, right? Where he's like, where you're like, oh my God, this dude knows basketball like it's nothing. And then like the next second, he'll do the most simple, basic plays back to back to back. You're like,
during a run from the other team. And it's like
always.
Well, and it's infuriating because at a time, like timeouts and sideline out of bounds, which, you know, timeouts are usually, if not always, sideline out of bounds. But like he draws up like some Brad Stevens type stuff, like Bobby Hurley at UConn. And it's Danny Hurley. But like just I don't think he names his plays. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe he has no names for him, so he just like has to show them. He's like, you go here, you do this, rather than just like teaching them the play before the game. Be like, hey, this one's called 2.
Yeah, very much.
All right, head tap 2 means we're running this. Like, no, he's like,
Normal
I don't feel like it.
stuff.
Well, I got like 8 chances to draw up plays per game. That's all we need, right? It's all the timeouts.
I will say, if I was a coach and you gave me Kyrie and Luke, I would be lazy so easily. I would.
He was lazy without him.
Oh yeah. See,
But
like
that
I would,
is
you
fair.
would. Like I will admit, like I would be like I would do the Darvin Ham pockets in my hands in my pockets, just sitting there watching the game like everybody else. After I seen Kyrie, Luka just cook back to back to back, I'd be like y'all having fun? So this is great television, right? It's like, yeah, coach, but like you haven't called a play in a quarter.
Dude, I mean, it's like my buddy's dad that coached our like high school rec league team that we just made for fun. He was literally just there because you had to have an adult on the sideline, and he would call timeouts. We would look at him and say like, a lot of times he wouldn't even call the timeout. We would just call the timeouts, and he would just kind of be standing there, he's sitting actually the whole game. We would do our subs like
never involved.
He was just there.
The Jason Kidd treatment.
I will say I forgot the Mavs. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will say I forgot to bring up one thing for this the Eastern Conference. The Wizards are 12th. We are not last. So that clap it up. All right.
Shout out Wizards.
That deserves
potential team of the week winner. Maybe not in last.
Well,
who knows?
Not in last. We're on our way.
Teaser.
I'm gonna give it one more. Exactly. I'm gonna give it one more week because we beat the Hawks twice. We're 2-6, and the Hawks are the only wins we have. So I would give it some time. But for now, Wizards, congratulations not being last. So now I go to the Western Conference, and then I go and look at the Spurs at 12th. That's another team. I'm like, hey, why are we not good, guys? Because I haven't watched the Spurs game. And
Spurs are
I can admit
depth.
that.
They got no depth.
That makes sense. Okay.
They just I mean, they're building something. I think like Stephon Castle is the right pick. I don't love. I guess you signed Chris Paul to mentor Steph Castle, but like, and you needed a point guard. You did just need a point guard, but you know, a lot like you let a lot of guys walk that were kind of the depth pieces. You don't have Devin Vassell. Not having Devin Vassell really hurts them because they don't have any consistent like floor spacers on that squad.
Yeah, and I've seen some things about Wemby playing on the perimeter a lot.
He is,
Like
and it doesn't make any sense
I've seen some
to
things
me.
about that.
Well, teams are really making it tough for him to catch inside the 3-point line there. And the thing is, when you don't have floor spacers, you can't, like, say you're trying to feed Wemby and they're bringing the backside paint help in real close in fronting and just like making it so you got to throw it up top, and it's still a tough pass for him to get. If you skip it to the open guy, it's like, okay, that's Keldon Johnson in the corner, like a 33% 3-point shooter. Or like a golly, I don't even know who else is on the freaking Spurs. Not Chetty Osman isn't there. Doug McDermott's not there.
Bro, I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't checked on them all season. Like I don't like. I thought I just kind of assumed it was gonna be good.
They got Harrison Barnes. That helps. That's a guy you can throw it to. But definitely. Like, dude, Trey Jones, Steph Castle, Malachi Branham. These aren't like really consistent 3-point shooters that you're especially like, oh yeah, Trey I feel Jones. Really good about him. So,
yeah, especially Trey Jones. He's
Trey Jones.
He's inconsistent as hell when it comes to shooting. I don't know what it is, but
I don't think that's a guy that lasts there much longer. If you're like, this team really needed a point guard. It's like, well, Trey Jones played like all last year. It just wasn't very good. Oh man,
that's the undercover part about when a team is complaining about a certain position is the dude that's in the position, and they have to act like he's not ass.
Yeah, he's like Trey's here. He's doing. And it's like, you're saying he's doing his job, but we all know he's not going to be here when his contract is up.
You drafted a point guard and got another one.
Yeah,
it's like you kind of told us everything you need to know, but I'm praying for him because Tyus Joe is also one of my favorite players, so. I
like Tyus. He's been playing really well too. But before we move on, bro, we got to look at the fact that I just want to mention this, that the Western Conference 10 seed is the Kings. They are 6-4. If they were in the East, they would be the 3 seed and they would have it by themselves. They wouldn't be in a tie with anyone.
Man,
10-3. I mean, when's the last time the East was better than the West? I remember, I think last year I said something about like the East is going to like be bad next year aside from the Celtics. I don't know if I ever said aside from the Celtics, but I said the East is going to be bad. And like, I got killed for it. People were like, this guy, he doesn't know anything. Like the East is definitely going to be better than the West this year. And like, well, for what it seems like 8th year in a row, other than one team, the West is just significantly better than the East.
Well, I will say, I remember the explanation on why the West is always better than the East. And it was the main explanation is dudes want to go to the West Coast. Like it's that simple. They get role players for cheaper. Star players want to go there all the time, and it kind of just leads to like all Western Conference teams outside of Oklahoma. I don't know what's going on in Oklahoma, but
there might be bigger markets with less eyes too. Because think about the big markets in the East. Yeah. It's like you want to go to a big market in the East. It's the Celtics, the Knicks, the Bulls. Yeah, I guess that's a big market.
Yeah,
the Sixers. Yeah. Of those like 4 teams I just named that are big markets, like there's one. The Bulls are probably the only team that don't have like a microscope under them and are like are under constant scrutiny. The Knicks are always going to be under constant scrutiny if they're underperforming. So are the Celtics and so are the Sixers. In the West, it's like you could go to Dallas, you could go to Phoenix, you could go to the California is beautiful. Even Memphis is a sizable market. New Orleans is a sizable market. Like, I don't know, even like Houston, San Antonio. But
yeah,
that's a good point. Never thought about that.
Yeah, no, that's like the main reason. But like at the same time, like these teams just aren't doing well with making teams. At a certain point, because like 2-3 years ago, the East was with them. It's like it's not impossible for them to do it.
It's come back. I feel like it usually goes back to the West is way better, but this year this is a notable start.
Yeah, this is terrible.
Notable start. Very top heavy East. All right, and that's what we got for Good Morning NBA. A little bit of time on the East, a little bit of time on the West, but now I got to take us into Real Hoop Hours, our flagship segment, the segment where we really get in our bags, like the fries are at the bottom. And Heem, I'm going to throw it to you for this week's Real Hoop Hours. It's a good one. I'm excited.
There you go. This week, we got an overarching question of, are we at the peak of three-point shooting in the NBA? And it's something that we came up with because we started to look at three-point attempts in the league and the NBA champion of last year, the Boston Celtics. and we're starting to notice a crazy trend, well, at least to the old heads, something that we was noticing for a while. But are we at the peak of 3-point shooting is where we're at today, Nick. And I'll allow you to start that conversation, sir.
Yeah. So, just 3-point attempts. If you watch basketball, you think like, yeah, it's gone up. Teams are definitely shooting more threes, but the two of us, we took the time to like just look at the numbers of what guys are shooting, what teams have shot in the past. And it is reaching the point of absurdity right now. Like, and we'll start with looking at individual players this year, and what their 3-point attempts look like. But leading the NBA in threes attempted per game is LaMelo Ball, and he shoots 13 threes a game. 13 a game.
That's crazy.
And I'm going to go rapid fire down the list here, because we're going to, ask a question and then kind of look at their numbers and just try to use some common sense, or at least what we think is common sense, to decide, do these guys need to be shooting this many threes? But Anthony Edwards is shooting 11.8. Jason Tatum is 11.6. Tyrese Maxey, 11. Luka, just under 10, 9.9. Trae Young, 9.3. Dame, 9.2. Peyton Pritchard, 9.1. Kobe White, 9. Jalen Green, 9. Derek White, 8.9. Steph Curry, 8.9. Tyler Hero, 8.8. Keontae George, 8.8. And Jordan Poole at 8.4. And that's the top 15.
Yes.
And you know what? For shits and gigs, Norman Powell at 16, shooting 8.3. Shout out our guy.
Favorite player. Yeah.
Norman Powell.
On this pod right here. Averaging 25, by the way, if anybody didn't know.
Yeah. But, I know. Hey, maybe that guy was right. The DM guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he's better than Ant.
Who knows? But the one thing I want to make sure is understood about that top 15 list is Steph Curry is at 8.9. Steph Curry. And there are multiple dudes ahead of him at 3-point attempts. Now, one of those dudes is Damian Lillard. And
he's number 12
Trae
on the
Young.
list, by the way.
Yes, number 12. And we're talking about 3-point attempts. But the thing is about what's very, very funny about this conversation is that Ant at 11.8, if I'm correct, right, Nick?
Yep.
Is shooting 46% from three. So, like,
his answer is yes. Maybe you should shoot more.
Yeah, I'll say. Now, me personally, I've said it before. As much as I think it's great that dudes are shooting at a high percentage of that many threes, I do think it needs to come down for certain dudes, especially dudes like Anthony Edwards, that are going to be controlling the ball a lot more. And I think in a situation where you're playing a team that switches a lot, it's going to make him shoot a lot of threes that he does not need to get up. And as much as he's shooting 46 right now, I personally am under the belief that that's going to come back down to earth at some point about 40.
Level.
Always. Because 46%, if to shoot 12 threes a game at 46%, we're talking about like crazy 3-point numbers. And I just can't count on that. And when we're looking at these numbers, I do believe it's gonna come back down at some point. I do believe we're sitting at the peak of at least stars shooting a crazy
attempts.
amount of
Yeah. No. Okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying, but like, there's nothing from the past, call it 15 years, that suggests that it will, because it's done nothing but go up. And granted, from year to year, the graph might, go up and then down a little bit and then up and then down a little bit, down a little bit, then up. But when you just take the trend, it's like, it's up. It's always trending upward. And it's been like that since I believe like 2008. When teams coming out of the dead ball era, once they, took hand checking out of the game of basketball, like scoring's gone up since then, but it was a weird, like a late add to that trend of scoring where teams were like, oh, let's just shoot a ton of threes. But I want to look at this list, and I want to say, like, let's just go guy for guy, and we'll try to keep it concise for time, but look at and just give a yes or a no. Should they be shooting that many threes per game? LaMelo Ball putting up 13, shooting 37%.
I can never condone 13 threes per game, but at the same time, I have watched one of his games, and he almost has to get up a good 10.
Yeah.
I can't agree with 13, but I can give him 10 definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say definitely not 13. I don't know where that magic
Yeah.
number is for LaMelo, but 13 is not it. Um, Anthony Edwards shooting 11.8.
Yeah, at 46%, I am very indifferent than everybody else. I like Anthony Edwards a lot more going downhill consistently. I personally don't like 11.8. If he can bring it to 8 to 9, that's where I'm okay. It is hard to justify with him being so good right now, but personally, that's just my belief on that.
Yeah, I'll say yes, just because, like, dude, do it until it stops working. Like, that's the thing about NBA coaches. A lot of times they can be a little scared to be like, hey, like, you're not shooting it as well as you did 30 games ago. Maybe bring the attempts down. And, like, it's like, dude, tell him, bench him. You're the coach. Don't bench Anthony Edwards. Don't bench Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, that's how you get fired.
Tell him, like, hey, we need to see that number be here if we want to play winning basketball. Because I guarantee you, if he's not shooting well, like, that number will probably find its level around 41 by the All-Star break, and then just probably round out around 40, whether it's 39 or 41, 42-ish by the end of the season. You can't be shooting, like, I mean, still 12 threes a game is so much. But I'll say yes until it drops. Like, if he ever drops below 38, it probably means he had a pretty bad slump to get there. So, and I'll be like, yeah, let's back it off. But
there you go.
Jason Tatum is taking just under 12, shooting 36. This is a hard no for me. Jason Tatum, your team won the championship by you not shooting 12 threes a game. That was like the biggest part, is that you stopped feeling like you needed to be the focal point of the offense. But granted, they're good right now. They're 9-2. So maybe I'm an idiot. I feel like the answer is no still.
This is the thing about Jason Tatum, is that Boston fans been trying to, at least somebody that does not support Boston like that, they've been trying to tell me that they are sick of him shooting a crazy amount of threes. And they are not just sick of it. They want him to go back to his like first and second year self, where he used to shoot too many mid-range shots. And they was like, hey, we didn't realize that was what we wanted. And now we got this. I don't see much of an issue. I will say, when I watch Jason Tatum, the threes he puts up, because that's the thing that I more or less notice, is that when Ant, he's shooting a lot off the dribble. And Jason, he's shooting a lot of like, oh, I'm just catching this at the end of the clock. Forget it, I'm just going to shoot at threes. So grenades. I can't say, I can't say too much that like he's putting up terrible shots. And that's why I say no, because again, I can't condone any player shooting 12 threes per game. That isn't the name of Steph Curry. But I can go okay with 10. Again, 10 is my like, 10 is where I'm comfortable personally.
And that's the question, man. Are we old heads right now? Because like, if this is just the way the league is going, I mean, dude, the Celtics have 3 guys in the top 10. Jason Tatum is getting up 11.6. Peyton Pritchard is getting up 9.1, and Derek White is getting 8.9. Like, if this is just the way the league is going, then it's the way the league is going. And we don't have time to go down every guy on this list, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, but I will say, like, for the old head point, we are okay with 10. That's more than any old head I could talk to.
We're cool parents. We're like, you can stay out till 1. 1 is a good curfew. That's like you 1 is your curfew. After once it's past like the hour of midnight, then you need to be home.
There you go. I caught some vodka. I went in your room and saw some vodka bottles in there. I didn't tweak out. I just sat there and said, "Hey, son, let's be responsible." That's what we're at right now.
Make sure you're not driving.
There we go. And we're okay with the new age and 10 threes per game. Which, if I were to tell my uncle that, I mean, I told him to listen to this podcast. He was like, "Why are y'all so okay with 3-point shooting?" I'm like, "It's basketball.
This is what the kids like."
He says, "Hey, why bring it back down to 6 threes per game? Why would I do 6? That's old head right there.
Yeah,
that's old head. 6 threes per game. My God."
I will say, as a Mavericks fan, I wish Luka took like 6, 7 threes a game, because for a guy who is so damn good when he has at least 1 foot in the paint as a playmaker, as a scorer, and like as an offensive rebounder for himself, and as a foul baiter and a guy who gets to the line a lot, why are you shooting 10 threes a game and you're shooting 33% from 3? Granted, last year he shot it a lot better from 3. But I don't know. Small sample size. I can't get carried away.
There you go. No, you're good.
Let's look at this next question here, because when we look at these teams that have been successful, winning championships essentially is being successful. And of course, all you can ask as an organization and as a fan is just that your team is being put in a chance to win it, or is having a chance at winning a championship, put in a position where they can win. That's what I wanted to say.
There we go.
And it doesn't happen every year. LeBron happens, the Super Celtics happens, Steph Curry Dynasty Warriors happens. Not every team's going to win a championship, but you have to look at what the teams that did win, what was their formula for success in terms of shooting threes.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed some trends in there. Mostly when it came to the difference between regular season and postseason 3-point shooting. And one thing I also noticed is teams that have won in the past 5 to 6 years. What I've seen when I look down the Raptors, the Lakers, the Warriors, the Nuggets, and then the Celtics last year. The Celtics are the only team I noticed that were top of the league in attempts, where most of the teams prior were middle of the pack when it came to attempts and were top flight in percentage. And this is something where a lot of teams aren't going to understand what that really means. That doesn't mean to just get up as many as you possibly can. It means to have good dudes shooting good shots timely. And that's where I think a lot of NBA teams have it messed up, where they don't understand that you have to have dudes in position to shoot these threes. You can't draw up plays for threes that happen, not understanding that these are dudes not in good position to get them. And that's what I say with these championship teams. They're sitting there and saying, all right, cool, we'll get up a whole bunch. But at the end of the day, we're not going to shoot bad threes. And the Celtics are the only team in there that will shoot terrible threes and will still continue to let them fly regardless. And that's why they're outlier to me.
It's that mentality of like, if we put enough up, the odds are, and we have a lot of great shooters on our team. It's like the odds are, if we put up enough, we're going to get a lot to go in. It's just like, it's quantity over quality. And in that line of like our NBA players and our shooters on our team, this is what the coaches are asking themselves is like, are our guys good enough shooters to just like have that mentality of if we get enough up, we're going to be good because enough of them will fall. Like, I mean, Peyton Pritchard wasn't even a huge part of the game plan last year. Now he's shooting 9 threes a game so far. Yeah. Like, that's a good question. And that's what I think a lot of these teams are asking themselves. And that's what we're asking as well, is like, is every team taking this mindset, or is it a roster thing? Is it your personnel? It's like, can we even do this?
Very much. I think the biggest problem that I've noticed in the NBA is that they don't look at the personnel. A lot of these championship teams are very concise in who they have on the court in certain spots, right? One of the things that the Boston Celtics do, especially with dude like Sam Hauser, right, who got some really good playoff minutes last year, is they put him in the same side of the court over and over and over, and they run plays so that they know that Jason can get the ball there at a good time for Hauser to catch and shoot. The Celtics have gotten better at the quality of threes. And then I watch a team like the Sacramento Kings, and not to just get on them, but then I'll just see Malik Monk just dribble down and just shoot a pull-up for no reason. And it's like, yes, both of them were 3-point attempts, but one had a way better idea behind it than the other one. And one team is just saying, I got to get up threes, versus the other one is saying, let's create a good three. Yeah,
and it's the Celtics do a good job of running what a lot of people just call the domino offense, of just like, we're not going to take a shot on the second domino to fall. Like, say you run some sort of action and it leads to a longer closeout for a shooter in the corner. That guy pump fakes, say it's Drew Holiday. He drives, jumps out of bounds, hits a hammer pass to the opposite corner to Derek White. He drives middle, jump stops in the paint, kicks there. It's like, bad teams or not great offensive teams are shooting that Derek White three. The Celtics, and this is reminiscent of the Spurs of, the Tony Parker, Manu, Tim Duncan, Boris Diaw guys. Like, they shoot shots on like the 7th domino. They're using a bigger portion of the shot clock. And there is a balance there because it's like, okay, these guys are all really good shooters. He had, an open 3 and he pump faked and drove. He could have just taken that. And I think that's the difference from the Spurs to the Celtics now, is the Celtics are waiting for that first like wide open shot, but they're not passing them up. When the Spurs, like, they would pass it up because they didn't have as many shooters as the Celtics had. But that is the mentality of that domino offense. And that's why I'm really critical of the Mavericks, because they think they run the domino offense, but they're taking the second or third domino shot every single time, where the better teams are waiting for that great look. They're waiting for that, not just good, but that great look. And compare that to the Spurs, they were looking for an excellent look. They wanted wide open layups, mostly.
Yeah, they're using all 24.
Yeah.
And that's why to me, whenever I look at these teams, really like the Denver Nuggets, for example, right? We look at them and they was at near the bottom of the league when it came to attempts. Right. And it's weird because, again, why is a team with Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray and Jokic, all good shooters, shooting that little, is because they have a very controlled offense. Dump it down to Jokic, let him cook one-on-one. If he's in a situation where he needs to get doubled, pass out to shooters.
Pass it out. Yeah.
Very simple offense, something that was done with Dwight Howard in the Orlando Magic. This is a very simple system that works. And I thought it would lead to more three-point attempts, but it doesn't. It actually made them so much more efficient. And that's one of the things where I think, obviously, teams don't have a Jokic. But at the end of the day, this is something that you can look at and kind of look at as a trend of being like, okay, cool. As much as we can get up 42 threes per game, we're not the Boston Celtics. They're not going to go in at a 39% clip, right? We don't have a whole bunch of great shooters. So now we have to go the opposite route of the Denver Nugget route of very concise, very efficient, and we're looking for certain looks to be able to score points consistently. And that's why I go back to saying that I think we're at the peak of three-point shooting, is because teams are always going to find a way to cheat the system.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the system at the moment. We're going to find a way to pretty much zig when everybody's zagging. Somebody's going to do it, and somebody's going to do it really well.
I think it's going to take a generational player. I think it's going to take a Steph Curry type guy, but for the opposite of like, this guy is so efficient from like not three that it's like, throw him the ball every time. And, even if we say like, it's going to keep rising, I think the graph probably looks something like this. I'm sorry for people that are just listening, but it's a more violent rise up. And I think that's what we've seen the past 10 years or so, going from like the 2011 Mavs, who I'm like watching them growing up. And granted, I was like 13, but I was like, that team shot a lot of threes. You know how many threes they shot per game? 21 and up to 22 in the playoffs. Like the Celtics just won a championship, and they shot 42 threes, 42 and a half threes per game in the regular season. And, to find just a random plot right in the middle, the Warriors, the 2017-18 Warriors shot just under 29, so 28.9. And that's like, I thought that team shot a lot of threes. Did they? Not compared to the Celtics this year. And even you go ahead a year and they shot 33. Sorry, that's the that's the Raptors. Sorry. But let's look at the 2021 Warriors. I think or 21-22 Warriors. That team shot 39 threes a game. So it's like still, you think, oh, that team shot a lot of threes. Like, no, it's just been pretty steadily going up. For the teams that do shoot a lot of threes, but you have the outliers like the Nuggets who, shot 32 a game, and that went down to 30 in the playoffs. But they have a Jokic, they have a Embiid, as you said it. It's like they don't need to do that to win. But all the other teams seem Very to much. Like that is kind of the formula. But I guess my point is it's a violent rise up, and it kind of flattens out at the top, and it may still keep going up, but I think that 50 is probably the number that you're going to get to 50 and you're going to be like, okay, this doesn't work anymore.
Oh,
I think 50 is, I think a team is going to get there. A team is going to get to 53s a game. Seriously, I think it's going to happen. And they're going to realize, okay, this is just not, it doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore.
Because one of the things that I've also noticed when it came to the rise of 3-point shots is cutting down the bad layups, right? That as teams are like just getting back to like good shots only, right? What happens is a lot of players are passing up what would have been bad layups before, and a lot of passing up a lot of floaters, passing up a lot of contested layup opportunities, missing out on a lot of fouls at the rim, and it's just throwing it out to shoot threes. And that's why I see the 50 number can happen. Is a team saying, if you're not open, don't shoot that layup. And they're just like getting up 50 in the game.
I disagree. I think layups and dunks are always going to be a mainstay, but I do see your point, and I'm going to take that. I don't dislike the idea of like those deeper floaters, but I think and this isn't a hot take, but the mid-range game is going to be phased out by the efficiency. Nerds, like every organization has a bunch of nerds, maybe just one or two that are just like crunching numbers on like, this is the worst shot that our team takes consistently. And I think for a lot of teams, that's like, why would you ever take a 12-footer? Why would you ever have, if it's there and you can hit it at a really high clip, at like a Nowitzki level clip, then take it. But if you're anything less than 60% from like 12 to 15 feet, we shouldn't don't shoot it. We can get a better one. We can get a 3 that's more points or a higher percentage look close to the hoop, maybe get to the line. Because you're not getting to the line on a 12 to 15 footer most of the time.
Oh, definitely. And the thing is, by me 2 years ago, right before I started my hoop page, I was a very big never shoot a mid-range guy. But I was I don't know what happened. I just got radicalized out of nowhere where I was like, I never want to see a dude shoot a mid-range. And it was so weird because like I came around to it later, and like I don't know why for a year of my life I was just like mid-range shots pissed me off because I always saw opportunities to get to the rim, and it was and at a certain point I kind of understood as that's like one for energy reasons you don't want to always have to be blasting to the hoop because you have to put more energy into actually finishing that layup, and secondly, sometimes you just need to just shoot that mid-range. Yeah. Sometimes it's open enough where you're just like, just shoot it.
Also, NBA guys are so good, bro. Like a KD midi. Yeah. Even I'm not even gonna say KD. I'll say like a Paolo Banchero midi is such a high percentage shot. And if he can get open, like if he's got like a 6'3" dude guarding him, he's like 6'7", 6'8". He's like 6'8". Like if he can rise up and hit that at a decent enough clip, to where like, oh, it's better than going to the rim and getting contested by Rudy Gobert or like Joel Embiid or even like Nick Claxton. It's like if that's a better percentage, it might be, depending on which guy it is. But
there we go.
I don't know. You got to be cold. You got to be a really, really, really consistent mid-range shooter to be able to justify like taking those.
And that's why I do think in the future you can see it kind of creep back in. It will never be popular again. Never. But it can creep back in based on the kind of overcorrection that's going to come from 3-point shooting coming up.
Yeah, you know what? And if the league, like, I think Adam Silver is losing me as a commissioner because he's just like anything like let's try to be the NFL. Let's just do crazy stuff until people view us as the NFL. Until we're that popular. Yeah. It's like, dude, stop. But he's like, doing the in-season tournament. I don't think he'll ever do this, but if he did bring back some sort of like quasi hand check where you can be a little more physical, where like you can have your hand on their chest, like as they rip to shoot, it's like that would change things. And that might either that or a generational player that changes the way that teams think. Like that could change things.
Now that's it for our Real Hoop Hour segment. We got that out of the way, but now we do have to transition ourselves to our therapy session, our time where me and Nick get to express some problems that we've had in our own life to really get it out and really just use y'all as our therapists. And
I'm laying down right now. I'm in the therapy position. For those of you who aren't watching, I'm definitely laying down flat right now.
Yes. And he moved his camera and everything. It's
Yep.
amazing to see. You gotta
Yeah,
see.
if
You
you're
gotta
not
watch this on
watching-
YouTube.
Yeah, you got to watch.
But Nick, I will allow you to start off the therapy session. All right, man. What do you have on your chest today, man?
So I have an offensive foul myself.
There we go.
We're gonna go the other way with this one, and
There we go.
part of it is, it's like it was close. It could have been a no call. It might be a no call.
Mhm.
We might have to call
Mhm.
this one a wash and just call it a no call. But I'll let you help me out with that.
I got you.
So I live in Mobile, Alabama, and if anyone lives in Mobile, they're aware of the fact that, especially if you've lived somewhere else and then you moved to Mobile, or maybe you went back and
Mhm.
forth regardless, if you ever lived anywhere else, you know that the fast food service in Mobile is the worst in America, maybe the worst in the world. It's just awful. Everywhere you go, unless it's Chick-fil-A or Cane's, it's gonna be awful. They run their junk like
Mhm.
a well-oiled machine. But I went to Popeyes to pick up some food for me and my dad, and pulled up to the drive-thru. And I even peeked inside to see if there were a lot of people inside. I saw like maybe 5 or 6 people in there, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been 5. No more than 6 for sure. 2 cars ahead of me in the drive-thru. I'm like, okay, this is good because I'm aware of what it's like in Mobile. So I'm like, okay. Wait for 5-ish minutes. First car pulls forward. I'm like, good pace. Got a good pace here. Next car that's at the spot to order. 20 minutes they sit there.
Oh my God.
Maybe it was like more like 15, but a long time. They finally order. They pull up. I get up there and say, sir, just hold on a second for us. Okay. A few minutes go by. They pop on again. Oh, sir, you still there? Yep. All right, just hold on for us just a little longer. Okay. 10 minutes go by. Finally get to order. Order my food. Get up to the window. And they hand me my drinks for me and my dad. And then they say, sir, could you just pull up for me? And that is the kiss of death. At least in Alabama, that is the kiss of death. If they ask you to pull up, just turn off your car, go for a walk, come back in 20. But it was a legit
YouTube video
for real, bro. It was I sat there for about 20 minutes, and then I went inside and I said, any chance I can get my food anytime soon? And they're always dumbfounded, like, what? And this is where the offensive foul comes in, right? I feel like I went in hot. I went in very hot. And I was like, this is absurd. Like, I've been here I said an hour. It had been like 40-ish minutes, somewhere between 40 and 45. But I was like, I've been here an hour. I got here an hour ago, and I still don't have my food. And the lady at the front that was like currently ordering, she just kept going, wow, oh my, wow. As I like kept talking and just giving my sob story. I was like, I'm trying to pick up food for me and my dad. We're gonna watch a movie. It's getting late. Like, and there it's like, well, sir, we didn't have any chicken patties for your chicken sandwich combos. And I'm just like, I don't see how that's my issue. I'm like, was it packed in here? And they're like, well, we had a lot of people. I said, well, I peeked. Wasn't more than 10. I can tell you that for a fact. And I was hot, bro. And then I went back into my car, and then I actually came back in and said, nah, I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna wait right here for you to give me my food. But the lady was really sweet, and I felt bad. And I was like, maybe I was a little hot. She's like, sir, I understand.
I mean, you had a reason to come in hot, though.
She said, baby, I understand. And I was like, the Southern hospitality, it's getting to me. I'm less mad now.
That's how they counteract it right there.
I know, bro. It's how they do it. When a fast food like woman worker calls me baby, I'm just like, I can't be mad anymore.
Honey,
baby. Let me get you
take
your
another
chicken.
hour after that. I mean, my
you
God.
take your time, Darlene, Charlene.
I'm the bad person here.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You're right.
No, I mean,
you guys have served 8 people in the last 45 minutes, but you know what? This one's on me. But I don't know.
Yeah,
so I'm calling offensive foul myself. Patience is a virtue.
Very much.
Got to grow as adults. but sometimes I'm like, enough is enough.
Yeah, I will say my record for waiting is also at Popeyes for hour and 10. This
It's ridiculous.
and that was it was rough, but it was a Popeyes in the hood. That's my fault. I knew that was going to take a while. You live and you learn, honestly.
I don't know if there's a Popeyes in Mobile that's not in the hood. This is where they exist.
Honestly, I feel like that's the only place they can be.
Oh, was yours on like the west side of Charlotte, or east side of Charlotte, like right outside of South End?
Yeah, it's like it was like the worst idea I've ever had in my life.
I've been to that one before.
Next to the theater.
Had some less than stellar experiences there too.
Yeah, they told me they didn't have chicken one time. It was 4:00 in the afternoon. I was like, all right. There's another conversation we need to have at this point.
Free advice: if Popeyes ever tells you, or like a chicken sandwich place tells you they're out of chicken, say, "Can you make it with tenders?" Because a lot of times they say we're out of chicken because they don't have the chicken patties, but they can make it with tenders.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. There you go.
I know. I learned that.
You could have saved me that day. Yeah, you could have saved me that day. But of course not. But all
right, that's my therapy.
Go. I do have a smoke lay. Literally, I went to hoop again, and a smoke lay is when you take a simple situation and you make it harder than it needs to. And I've been, with Big Hoop Gurus, and then with starting the YouTube and with my other page, Waheem, I haven't had a lot of time to be able to get out and hoop, and it turned into 5 months without touching a basketball. And Nick, I didn't realize it. Time was flying, and I was like, "Oh my God, I haven't hooped in 5 months." But then my homie hit me up. He was like, "Hey man, I haven't hooped in 4 months. Let's go out and hoop again." And I was like, "Cool, just get some of the old heads." And let's talk to the old heads and let me go back out with them. He was like, "Oh, no. We're going to go hoop with the college dudes that we used to play with."
Oh, shoot.
I was like, I was sitting there. I was like, "Hey, man, I don't think you realize this is not a good decision for both of us." And then, for me especially, I was like, "This is a terrible idea." And then he was like, No, we got to get out there. Right. And I was like, "Okay, fine. F it, let's just go hoop." And the second that I got out there, I did it between the legs dribble. The ball fell out my hands. I was like, "Oh God, today's gonna be a bad day." And I get in the gym, and I'm like, "Okay, hopefully dudes don't show up. We play 3-on-3. There's a lot of space. Even when you're garbage, you can look decent, with space."
Yeah, hit open shots, move the ball.
There you go. And the thing was, everybody came in on time. For African Americans, that's amazing. Everybody on time and came in, and I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't them actually think that I can hoop still, right? I'm hoping they think I'm like, because the thing was, when I stopped, I, for some reason, had such a better handle than I usually had, right? So
that jump goes for me too. If I don't touch a ball, it's gone.
Oh, yeah, it was gone. Like, I'm talking, like, I remember the last time I hooped with them, I went and split a double team, between the legs, crossed another dude, Euro stepped at the rim. Craziest play I had in a while, right? That was the last time they saw me. So I get back on this court 5 months later. I'm making sure everybody knows this is the first time I touched the ball in 5 months. I'm telling everybody. I'm making a joke out of it, but it's really a disclaimer.
It's been a while. I haven't touched the ball in like a long time.
Yeah, I was like,
they're like, I don't care.
A lot, man.
5 months, right?
Yeah. I was sitting there. I was like, damn, man, I haven't been out here 5 months. This is crazy. They're like, 5 months. I'm like, yeah, 5 months, bro. It's crazy. Like, and then they're like, all right, cool. He didn't run the point guard. You got it. And I'm like, okay. And Nick, I tell you, I couldn't even do regular dribbles. I remember one time, this is one play, and this is when I knew I was Celtic Shaq today. I went, got the ball in the left wing, and usually I do a little step back, right? It's just a little 1-2 step back to my left side to start the game off. It's easy. I shoot it all the time. I created such little space on this sidestep that this motherfucker was able to almost palm the basketball. And that's how I knew we're going down.
You're cooked. Dude, that's the worst. But like someone thinks you're better than you are and they like pass you the rock and be like, hey, go at him. And it's like,
brother, I don't have it. I was like, I'll tell you right now, if I had the bag, I would use it, but I legitimately did not have it. And I just like, and then the thing was that like dudes was pressing for fun. Like it was like, oh, okay, cool. And I was like scared out of my mind. Like, I'm
Call
sitting there like
another guard. It's like, don't clear, don't clear, come back.
I'm trying to act like I'm being lazy. It was like, hey, come on, man, but really, I cannot get around him at this moment. So then when it was revealed that I was ass was when I came down and I did a tween hezzy and the ball was out of my hands by the time I was getting ready to shoot.
It just never touched your other hand on the tween.
Nick, I'm so serious.
Bad feeling. I ain't been there. Hand up.
And
solidarity.
I tell you, and I had the shoulder shimmy and everything, and they're going the other way. I'm like, what is happening? And I'm telling you, like, the thing is, like, my shot is what gets hurt, but my handle gets hurt the most when I don't hoop.
Yeah.
So I go from a dude that can dribble one-on-one and cook dudes to I can't even get up the court. Like, it is rough, Nick. I know you know that experience, you know.
Yeah, the triple threat is your best friend. As an older hooper, the triple threat is your best friend, dude. The rocker step, a rocker step is filthy, bro.
Exactly. And now I'm hooping again this week, and we're back on the 2 hoop sessions a week regimen.
Okay.
Because I'm never gonna feel like that again.
You got to, bro.
I need
from here.
I need to have a 3 on my age for that to happen again. I'm sorry. At 24 years old, I cannot feel like that, bro. that felt terrible. So,
well, all right. That is our therapy session. Thank you all for listening to us. Just get some things off our chest. I feel lighter for it. Don't you, Heem?
Oh, I feel a lot better.
Yeah, I feel incredible.
I feel lighter after hooping like that.
But coming up, we have our starting 5 draft of Pokemon. We're going to put Pokemon into each slot on a team, point guard through center, and have a 6-man too. But before we do that, we got to name our teams of the week. And Heem, I'm going to let you go first.
Okay. Yeah, so my team of the week, I have the 11-0 Cleveland Cavaliers. I will be sending them a gold star in the mail, and mine will have a C on it. Not a Cleveland Cavaliers C, just a regular C backwards. Nick, what will be your team of the week?
Yeah, for me, you know, I said I was going to pick a team if they stayed higher up in their conference, but, you know, I'm going to give them team of the week for being at the spot they were. 2 days ago, or actually yesterday, the Hornets were in 4th in the East, and now they lost a game, and now they're in 8th, but they were in 4th, so clap it up. My team of the week goes to the Hornets for, at one point, being in 4th place in the East.
There we go.
Cool. And I have to say, I think you have to keep picking the Cavs until they lose a game. If they're undefeated again next week, you got to keep picking them.
Oh, no. There's no. Yeah, I have no choice. Yeah, if it was like 15-0 by next week, guess what? They're the team week every week. So big ups to the Cleveland Cavaliers, man.
Exactly.
All right, to get us into starting 5. Thankfully, this week I got the first pick, and in a Pokemon draft, this is amazing, to say the least. I have the easiest pick of the day. My number 1 pick. I'm picking Mewtwo. I'm putting him at the 2.
Ooh. That didn't even occur
and
to
another
me.
stipulation we have in this draft is 1 legendary is allowed, and I use my legendary slot early. And
Mewtwo's a legendary. Legendary just means there's only one of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I fact checked. The little one is like the little one still counts as legendary, so the big one, yeah. So I use my legendary slot early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and,
okay.
I mean, there's no better one though.
We can move guys around, of course, or girls, because you know Pokemon are both genders or whatever. But
Very
where
much.
where
You know what
where
I'm saying?
where are you putting Mewtwo at tentatively?
The 2.
Okay.
Put Mewtwo at the 2.
Mewtwo makes sense.
I mean, I can sell T-shirts with that. So, you know.
Mewtwo at the 2. All right.
That's where I got to go with that one.
It comes to me.
There we go.
I have a lot here. But you've already used your legendary. So I can use that to my advantage and know that I can grab other ones knowing that all my legendaries are still going to be there that I have in my brain to pick from. I'm going to go Machamp. I'm going to take Machamp, forearm dude, and we're going to tentatively put him at the 3. I might move him to the 4. Small ball at the 4 for Machamp because I was looking up heights too. Heights was a big part because a lot of these guys that you think are tall are like 3'5" for Pokemon.
They're Pokemon.
But Machamp is actually he's 5'3", but still he's shredded.
5'3"?
He's 5'3", and I gotta believe that his vertical is like insane. So
you just grabbed Pat Bev. Good job on that one. Got him early.
But the thing is, we're playing against other Pokemon, so a lot of Pokemon are really small. Like you're not gonna have like a 6-foot point guard. So maybe Machamp at the 4 isn't such a bad idea. But either way, I got Machamp.
Well, I will say after my pick, I might have a 6-foot point guard. The point guard, we're going Lucario.
Oh, he was on my list.
he was my favorite Pokemon for the longest time, and I know that man could hoop.
Yeah,
we're gonna put Lucario next to Mewtwo in the guard slots. That is a good backcourt.
That is a shifty ass backcourt, bro.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be moving, and that's I couldn't pass up the opportunity at Lucario, and who was like the best non-legendary I could have gotten. So
yeah, I was curious. I was asking you before the draft. I was like, I have a question on this guy's a legendary or not, and I was thinking of Lucario because of the movie. Yeah. Remember the movie where the one Lucario could talk, and I was like, oh, he's got to be legendary, but he's not. You're right. Actually, in the game, he's not.
He's not. Okay.
He's in the game. Lucarios are like you can catch multiple Lucarios. I'm pretty sure.
There you go.
Either way,
I remembered that you can. That's why I thought he wasn't legendary, but
yeah,
we can fact check that later. We can go to the booth.
Okay. All right. Second pick. I'm going Tentacruel at the 2. Defense. We are going to guard. Tentacruel's got he's got a lot of tentacles. I couldn't count on the picture.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that in my free time.
All-time pickpocket. I mean, I'm looking here. It's at least 10 right there. So and also he just floats on land. He just kind of floats around. He's also 5'3" so I can't imagine what his reach is, dude. Those tentacles are long. Wow. So
you got to okay.
I like Tentacruel at the 2 a lot.
All right, so I actually just did a fact check, Nick. Lucario is a legendary.
Ooh.
So I remember in the games you can get multiple, but apparently I'm wrong.
Okay, I do take 2 here then.
There you go. I have to take 2 right here. I will say missing out on Lucario, that hurts the team a lot. I'm not gonna lie to you. That you just brought my team. That just brought my team down. I can't even lie to you. But to replace that, we're gonna go with Blaziken at the 3.
That's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
Said Fire Bird Ninja going around. I mean, defensively, that's he's a guard. I know he can shoot.
Yeah, he's a high flyer.
Yeah, he gives me a lot of SGA vibes.
Also 6'3".
I didn't even know that till right now. I thought he was like 5 feet tall.
He's 6'3", bro.
6'3". I'm telling you. Look, man.
You put him at the 1?
No, let's go 3. I want to leave the 1 open because I have somebody in mind.
Okay.
So I have a Pokemon in mind that I think.
That's a good pick.
We'll
That's
go,
a good
but
pick.
Blaziken at the 3.
Yeah, that's a lot of these starter Pokemon, the final evolution forms are good. Like they look like good picks. You got another one. You got another one.
Crazy. Oh yeah, and then my other one is Greninja, the little frog ninja.
Yeah, I play Smash, and I was trying to think of Like what was that? I know it because he's in the new like the Switch Smash,
Yep.
and I was like trying to think of him, but I thought of someone else, and I think he's gonna do the same things, similar things for me.
See, that's my okay. I will say he's not one of one, but that's my boy though. So I have to go Greninja.
Greninja's a good one. All right, so I got Tentacruel at the 2, Machamp at the 3. Give me a. Give me Primeape at the 1.
Ah,
And I
okay.
thought I was going to go a different direction. But I changed my mind last second. Where is he on here? I want to see how tall he is.
That was my 6 man, bro.
That was? Okay. Yes. I mean, the handle's got to be tight. He's agile. His lateral movement's got to be crazy. He is 3'3", but still, I think he's going to be
angry as hell, though.
Angry as hell, yes. Anyone who watched the show knows that Primeape was mad all the time.
Yeah, and
he gave him the little anime like stress thing in the top right corner of his face.
Yeah, he also has an evolution where he got so angry he died, came back to life more angry. And I'm just like, I would want to go against him.
Need that energy, bro.
Full court pressing with Primeape.
Need it. Need it on my team.
That's good stuff right there. I can't even lie to you. You got a full, like, you got a game plan and you going for it. And I gotta give you that credit. But I would say for my next pick, I need bigs. And I don't know if I can go with a bigger option now that I have no legendaries. I'm going Whale Lord at the center. It is legit just a whale.
He doesn't have hands.
Hey, he's gonna use his big ass head and he's gonna defend like that. He's gonna have to use his head and he's gonna have to block some shots. We got Whale Lord at the center.
How big is he?
He's literally the size of a regular whale.
I just found him. Okay, he's 47 feet long. So 3 in the key automatically.
That's true. I mean, technically he's touching outside. He is touching outside, though.
He's toe tapping. Yeah, he is. That's fair.
I will say, if we have a feet requirement, I do have another option of Snorlax. Because I will say
Snorlax does have hands. I will say.
Yeah. See,
you can pick Whale Lord.
I'll switch it out.
You can still pick him.
He's gonna mess up the offense. Actually, let's go Snorlax.
He just takes up the whole court.
Let's go Snorlax in the center, and he's gonna defend the paint, Rudy Gobert style. And on offense, we're gonna count on him to be next to the rim. The 3 in the key is gonna be the problem. We're gonna have to. His feet are gonna have to be active, which is the opposite of Snorlax. But
bad work ethic. We know that.
Oh, terrible. But we need some bigs down there, and we're gonna throw Snorlax at the center. I have a plan for the power forward.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm gonna move. Well, let's see how tall this guy is. Yeah, we're gonna move Machamp to the 4.
Oh.
And we're gonna take Infernape. Actually, we're moving Tentacruel to the 3 and putting Infernape at the 2.
Mm-hmm.
So now we got Primeape at the 1, Infernape at the 2, Tentacruel at the 3, Machamp at the 4. We're going small ball here.
Okay. I like what you got going on here, man.
Hey, he's tough, bro. He's like the Wukong main character, just as now he's playing basketball.
Yeah, no, that's actually cold as hell. Putting bro in a jersey is a great idea. And I'll say for my power forward, I'm gonna go Scizor. Which one is he?
You
remember? You remember Team Rocket's Scythe?
Scyther. Oh, is that the evolved version of Scyther?
It's the evolved version of Scyther where he's way faster, but he's also still tall. I'm pretty sure. So
I had Scizor. I had Scyther on on my list, but I'm not seeing the evolution of him. Either way.
I see. Hold on. Let's fact check it. I can't get 2 penalties in one
No,
drive.
I believe you.
Let me see. Scizor.
I'm looking at it by like generation, so it may have come in like a later generation.
Oh, definitely did. I figured that out right at this moment. Like right as we was prepping for the draft. And then I was like, oh wow, there's evolution. I will take Scyther if I'm Scizor. This brother right here.
The red
right
one. That's right. That makes more sense because Scizor can actually hold the ball. Scyther would just be chopping it in half.
Yeah, exactly.
Delay a game.
Exactly. So Scizor, and on top of it, I see a lot of triple threat game here. And it's I think just give him the ball.
Also,
let
like
him cook.
Hall of Fame clamps. He's literally got clamps for hands.
Oh my god! And then we're
Great
gonna
pick.
move Blaziken. I will say move Blaziken to the 4. We're gonna move Scizor to the 3.
Okay.
I think he would fit better up there. That seems perfect. So we'll move this around a little bit.
Moment of truth for me, and I have a few thoughts for my 5 man, because all I have right now, I got Primeape at the 1, Infernape at the 2, Tentacruel at the 3, Machamp at the 4,
and no legendary yet.
No legendary yet. I saved my legendary for the 5.
Really separate.
Yeah. Give me Regigigas.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember Regigigas?
Okay. Yeah.
He is
I've
12'2", with arms that can touch the ground while he's standing. So standing reach, it doesn't show wingspan on the Pokemon like the Pokedex or whatever. But I mean, I gotta imagine if his arms are touching the ground and he's 12 feet tall, his standing reach has got to be like 25 feet at least. So
I think I remember bro used to just hold trees. Am I right about that?
Maybe
that
he's
he
got
was
like
so tall he was
on
just,
him.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah. No, I remember a picture of bro was just holding trees like regular, like he was just going, like he was just living life, and I was like, what the hell?
Probably just take some places. I don't know if I could communicate with him as a coach, but Regigigas all time, like the Zach Edey pick of this draft. Like, what can I form him into what I want him to be?
There we go. I was kind of concerned Groudon might pop up to this draft.
I almost picked him. My other two thoughts at the 5 were Palkia and Groudon. I needed something bipedal. I couldn't do like a Rayquaza or a.
This is better for this situation. That is a better pick.
I like Regigigas. Better.
I
Groudon's got short arms.
Snorlax
got short arms, man. Can't do it.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. I will say I might have sold with Snorlax. Hopefully we can get him in shape by the time the game starts. I will say Mewtwo. My guard position's got to carry. But for my 6 man, somebody come off the bench and give me some good points. It's between 2. He's got to miss it. He's gonna miss it. Beedrill. I'm going Beedrill as the 6th man. Yeah, he's not there to score. He's there to play defense.
Okay.
And and the thing is, I was like, oh, I want to score right off that bench. That's what you think. But then I was like, you know what? Let me have somebody scoring a little too well on your side. Throw in Beedrill. Yeah, let's see if he can dribble now.
Stab his ass in the chest with your big ass stinger.
Yeah, see what happens. I bet you he's not scoring anymore. So we're gonna actually have a defensive specialist on the bench, ready to go with Beedrill. And Beedrill, I have him listed as a 3. So I will have a 3 coming off my bench.
Man, I'm having a hard time with my 6 man. I really am. Because I like what I have.
This is not easy.
But I also realize that I think I need some more size. But
I will say my team is pretty tall compared to yours. I will say.
Regigigas, though, I mean, if he can stay on the court all game and not get into foul trouble, the rim is fine. The rim will be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
He will be okay.
That's the last thing you need to worry about.
But you know what?
Yeah. Please tell me we're playing goaltending, by the way.
Yes,
I just gotta
goaltending.
make sure.
And
Okay,
regular
yes,
NBA
yes,
rules. Regular NBA
Yeah,
rules.
okay, good. All right, not FIBA. Just don't do FIBA. And then Reggie Gigas is missing
Everything
this
is
whole
getting
game up.
swatted off the top as soon as it touches the rim. As soon as it
So,
touches.
Just had to make sure it was NBA rules. That makes the game a lot easier.
I'm going to take Toxic Croak. I wanted to take
Okay.
Krogunk. You know,
Uh-huh.
I remember the one episode where Krogunk was just like a badass.
Yeah,
I think Ash caught a Krogunk and he couldn't get him to like do what he wanted him to do, but when he did, it was like, oh, Krogunk is tough, but might as well just take the
he's
evolved
tough.
version. So we're going
There you
Toxic
go.
Croak as the 6th man. You know,
Okay.
also we're just staying small. Toxic Croak 4'3". I just looked. I was trying to think of like, do I need a backup like 4-man to go big if we needed to? But honestly, my guy for that was Snorlax, and you took him.
Oh, there
But
you go. See,
I like Toxic
he's a
Croak.
perfect off the bench dude. Limited minutes. You know, just throw him in there. You know, just tell him, hey, play your hardest. He's not gonna give it to you, but he's got to just hope the best in him. You know what? Honestly, I feel great about my team. I will say, I will say, Nick, I'm extremely impressed with how my team came out. Outside of the bigs, we throwing Blaziken at the 4. We're kind of running small ball.
Yeah, you can. I mean, hey, I got Machamp, but let's just run through them real quick one last time. You go first.
Yes, sir. So at the point guard, I got Greninja. At the 2, I got Mewtwo. At the small forward, I got Scizor. The power forward, I got Blaziken. At the center, I got Snorlax. And at the 6th man, I got Beedrill. Defense specialist off the bench.
I like the Beedrill pick. The more I think about it, the more I like it.
We need more defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I got to spare, bro. My team, we're going to guard. We're going to play like I was talking about. We're going to press,
defense.
get out in transition. Reggie Gigas is never coming on the other side of the court. He's never passing half court. He's just staying on defense the whole time.
It's going to help your offense too. So
I don't want him there. We're going to space and just like work out on offense. Like put Snorlax in the middle. I think my guys are going to have to get around him. But either way.
Yeah, there we go.
I got Primeape at the 1, Infernape at the 2, just monkey backcourt. Very agile.
That's a good backcourt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tentacruel at the 3, clamps. Absolute clamps. Machamp at the 4, rebounds. Reggie Gigas at the 5. And then Toxic Croak, 6 man.
Yeah, Reggie Gigas seems like the star of this team by a mile. I will say he seems like the focal point.
Seems like that on paper. He's really the Rudy Gobert. Like, we ask you to do one thing.
Ooh, there you go.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be just by committee. I think Primeape is just going to anger his way to the hoop. Infernape, agile, going to be all around guy. Yeah, I like.
He seems like a good passer.
Yes,
Infernape seems like he's going to be a good passer. I would look into switching. You know, maybe giving Infernape the ball more. He seems like he would be a good point guard to kind of run your team through.
We might switch that up.
Personally, Mewtwo on my team, Mewtwo is the star, obviously being the legendary. But I think Blaziken is going to be the fan favorite.
Probably.
I have him getting the ball in 3-point line. 6'3". He's moving.
6'3", bro.
That man. I'm not saying that I picked a beautiful pick, but Blaziken he's going to be a fan favorite.
Yeah,
running straight 5 out, by the way. Snorlax is going to move from block to block. And we're going to be shooting the ball. and Snorlax will literally only be asked to go block to block. I'm happy. And again, Nick, if anybody in your team gets hot, we throwing Beedrill on them. So you might want to watch how many points you're scoring on that side if you want to save some of your players. So,
man.
I'm not saying I'm putting a hit on your players, but we know what Beedrill's out
Bounty
there.
gate.
So it's straight. We taking out knees. That's what's gonna happen.
Big ass
Best of
singer,
luck
bro.
to you, brother.
Oh my
There
gosh.
you go.
Cool.
But now that's it for starting five. Nick, I know you had a great time. I definitely
That's a great
did.
draft. That was
Yeah,
fun.
very great draft. I mean, I personally am more than satisfied.
Yeah.
But that we are now near the end of the show. But before we go, we got our extremely specific trivia. And for today, I will start us off. And Nick, I want to know, are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. I'm 0-0. We do keep score on this, but it's 0-0, and I think today's my day. I think I get one today.
You know what? And I hope you don't get it today. But we're gonna go ahead and start us off with the backstory behind my question. We were earlier talking about 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
I would talk about the growth of it. And then we was talking about how Steph Curry was top 15 and it was 12 dudes above him in 3-point attempts. Now, we're not talking about Steph Curry. We're talking about Seth Curry. And we're not talking about Seth Curry in the NBA. We're talking about Seth Curry in high school.
In high school?
What was Seth Curry's 3-point percentage in his senior year of his senior year of high school?
It's high school, so guys just get up. They get a lot of looks.
Sorry, I forgot to add one more stipulation to it. Off the dribble.
Off the dribble only? They kept track of that at his high school?
Yeah.
What the heck?
So when I saw that, I was like,
That's
I'm
insane.
asking that.
That's actually nuts. Shoot, dude. Off the dribble 3-point percentage.
You knew it wasn't going to be just 3-point percentage.
34.3.
Final answer?
Final answer.
44.5.
What? He shot
Senior in
44
high
and a half? Off
He
the
shot
dribble?
49% altogether, Nick.
He shot 49 from 3 just...
As a senior in high school, yes. At Charlotte Christian. And he shot 44.6.
Oh my gosh, bro. That
Off the
was a
dribble.
terrible guess. I don't
I
know
will
why
say,
I thought it...
off the dribble in high school with the spacing, I'm not mad at you. But
Yeah.
it's Steph. So
Yeah.
Seth Curry is still a top flight.
But also Seth was like,
So-
I mean, I'm thinking like he's a good NBA player, but he was like a top 20 recruit out of high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely
so-
that was a dumb answer, but well, I did not get it.
You
But
good, though.
Heem, I have a question for you. And my
Yes.
question it takes me to the fact that Haywood Highsmith had 5 steals yesterday. But a lot of people
There you
don't
go.
know that Haywood Highsmith was a Division II college basketball player. He may have actually been a Division III player at one point. Actually, I think this is a Division III school. Regardless, he was not playing Division I basketball at one point in his collegiate career. And he played for Wheeling University, at that time known as Wheeling Jesuit. And I want to ask you, how many rebounds did he average his last year? May have been his only year there, but it's definitely his last year at Wheeling Jesuit. Sophomore year.
Wow. I can't say I'm stumped. I don't even know where to start. Wheeling just, I feel like I shouldn't take that into account.
Shout out Wheeling, West
Am I allowed
Virginia.
Am I allowed to ask how tall is Highsmith? Just remember, I know he's at least 6'5", right?
He's 6'7".
He's 6'7", okay.
The Division III level, it's pretty tall.
Oh, man.
Our
that's
tallest player
really
on our
tall.
team was 6'8".
That's tall for this Division 3. So he was getting boards. Or is that, no, that's where you tricked me. Nope. No. Hold on.
I don't know, man.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Rebounds per game, just to make sure. Sophomore year in college at Division 3.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to go. Oh, man. Matters about how long the quarters are, too. Is D3 7 minutes? Is
No.
it the 7
No.
minutes?
It's just halves. It's like regular
Or is it-
college basketball.
It's like regular college basketball.
All NCAA
Okay.
even all
it's all
college
20
basketball
minutes.
is just men's college basketball is just halves. Weirdly enough, women's college basketball is quarters.
Yeah, okay. There you go. I was trying to make sure it didn't change because I've never watched a D3 game in my life. Because I was going to mess up my numbers by a lot. Let's go 8.3 rebounds per game.
Final answer.
Definitely.
Incorrect. 12 and a half.
12 and a half?
He averaged 22 points, 12 and a half rebounds, and what are his assist numbers?
What the hell?
Why do they
Was
just
he
have
listed as
assist
center?
totals? It just has assist
What was
totals.
he?
He played like the 3 or the 4, I think. I want to say Wheeling was a good D3 or D2 team.
Wow. So
they were no longer a university for a few years, and then they became Wheeling University. It was weird, but yeah, he averaged 12 and a half rebounds a game.
At like the 3 or the 4? What the
Before
hell?
transferring.
That team must have been good. Wow. And then where did he transfer to?
He
His,
transferred
junior,
to.
senior. I'm guessing he played both.
I can't find it. I can find it. Give me a second.
Oh, no, go back. Damn. 12.5.
Well, maybe he did just go.
Who's boxing that man out?
He played all 4 seasons at Wheeling Jesuit.
He never transferred.
He never
that's
transferred.
Rare.
Yeah.
That's extremely rare. He must have loved it down there.
2014 to 2018, and then he went to the NBA. I'm pretty sure they're D2. But
I mean, hey, get out the mud, brother. I gotta give it to you. That's good stuff.
hey, Heat culture. They got him.
Yeah, grabbing D2 dudes from Wheeling.
Making
That's
them like formidable NBA players. Nuts. Found this dude out of West
That's
Virginia.
culture.
That's crazy. But I guess we're going to be 0-0 for another week. And that is our show. Thank you so much for listening, especially if you got this far. You're a real one. We like people who finish the show. We love people who finish the show. Either way, we're on Spotify and YouTube. If you're listening, you know that. But we're now on Apple Podcasts as well. So if you're an Apple Podcast person that, was stealing someone else's Spotify or watching on YouTube, now you can listen there. Either way, we really appreciate all of you. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Real Hoop Hours Podcast for all the best clips in the world. Catch some Heem clips. Heem clips are incredible. If you haven't witnessed them yet, Heem clips are the best. The editing goat. But that's all we got.
Proud of myself.
Yeah. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.